Happy first day of spring. It is snowing here in central Pennsylvania. All right, so the article that I want to talk about is the MFA versus POC, written by Junot Diaz. And I just want to point out that he was actually on The Daily Show 2 days ago because he has published his first children's book called Island Born. And it's a really good interview. And I will link it below. And it discusses the American experience when you're from somewhere else, in his case, the Dominican. So I'm going to start with the MFA programs and people of color. If that's happening, that is really horrifying. But I guess it is. I am lucky enough to have gone to a very diverse school that celebrated differences. And so any creative writing course I had, of course I was an art major, any creative writing course that I had also applauded that and sought after that. And so they would have visiting artists and visiting writers series of lectures every year. And they would always make sure to have many people of many different ethnicities. And so I feel really lucky that that is not an experience that I've had. And apparently not all schools take on that model, and I wish they did. It seems like SNHU, with their philosophy on workshopping, is headed in that same direction, which makes me really happy. I think the statement about making sure that you're not attacking the person or their beliefs or their lifestyle, but you're focusing on their writing is a really positive thing. And it creates kind of a safe space where we are focusing on what we really need to focus on. So that makes me really happy. Workshopping process, it does need to be a safe space because you need to trust the people that are doing it with you, that are helping you and you are helping them. So it's essential for becoming a better writer. And I know that's against what Dan Barden said in a rant against creative writing classes. However, yes, I know not everybody's work is always going to be read, but I think it is important to have it read at some point. Because with me, when I write something, I have a lot of stuff going on in my head, and sometimes I'm not exactly sure if it's getting out there. So it's important to listen to what others hear and read when they're reading your work so that you can know that that are helping you and you are helping them. Essential for becoming a better writer. And I know that's against what Dan Barden said in a rant against creative writing classes. However, yes, I know not everybody's work is always going to be read, but I think it is important to have it read at some point. Because with me, when I write something, I have a lot of stuff going on in my head, and sometimes I'm not exactly sure if it's getting out there. So it's important to listen to what others hear and read when they're reading your work so that you can know that, so that you can figure out whether you're getting your point across. I think it's really important also for future professional opportunities, because if you workshop well and you work with other people and you give good advice and you pat them on the back and you also say what they could fix, at the same time taking advice that other writers give you and taking it in a professional manner and not a personal manner, really shows that you are easy to work with, easy to deal with. And that is something that publishing houses, I would imagine, are really looking for. Someone that they can work with. If they ask you to change something in your book, you're not going to run away crying. So I do think it's important for professionalism to go into these workshops thinking of the future and thinking of becoming someone who is multiple and someone who will work with others well, which I think is really good in any industry. My own workshops, I want to know. I want to know if something's wrong with my writing. I want to know if what I'm writing is important. I want to know if my ideas resonate with other people. If I'm explaining myself well, if I'm explaining my stories well. This is all very important. When I was so far in the workshopping experience at SNHU, I've gotten a lot out of it. I mean, so much so that I've actually emailed someone who critiqued my work off the campus website because I wanted to know more and I wanted to know how I could get my point across better. And we had really good discussions about that. And I think that goes on to forge friendships and to take what others say seriously. And it's also important to figure out what you want to keep and what you want to throw away. You don't have to take every piece of advice. In fact, like, we always say design by committee makes for weak design. Well, writing by committee also makes for weak writing. So you have to decide. Everybody has their opinion. What is important for you to keep and what is not important for you to keep, which can be hard sometimes. Okay. What do I hope to contribute to the workshop? This is really hard for me because I want to give everybody a hug and say, good job, you did so good, I'm so happy for you. But that's just not reality, and that's not why we're here, and it's not helpful. So we want to be helpful. And so you have to be honest but kind at the same time. I can see a way that what they're trying to say can be made better. I want to give that to them. Whether they accept it or not is totally up to them, and that's okay. It's really important to help everyone get better. And so, making sure, only giving good and not saying ways that can improve doesn't really help the writer. So I think, it's even for me, getting over the possibility that I'm hurting someone's feeling, I need to let go of that. I need to be kind, but I need to say, if I were the reader, I would like to know more about this, or how about show, don't tell, things like that. And these are things that I want brought to me as well. Bye.